Hello and welcome into Sorare Spotlight. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Here today to talk about the weekend, Gameweek 19, what we saw, some huge scores it felt like. But then I actually looked at the number of hundreds and it wasn't quite as high as I thought. And I was like, maybe I was wrong about this game week. But we've got that. We've got European nights coming this week, starting tomorrow, Tuesday. We have Champions League and Europa and Conference League. So we've got a lot of different competitions going on. All-Star still there. We have some Copa Libertadores for those who enjoy a little sprinkle of some South American action. And yeah, there's just a lot to get through. And so that's what we're going to do here on the Spotlight. Appreciate everyone coming in. We got Carrie, Mike Baston, and Sean Kennedy on the podium. Congratulations to you three. Thank you very much for coming in. Limpy, what's up? JT Chells, good to see you. And everyone else who is checking in from Twitch or, just the lurkers out there who enjoy the content, but don't necessarily want to jump in and say hi. No worries. No worries at all. But yeah, we're going to look into a few things. I had some successful streaks for the most part, except for probably the most important one, which is a little bit of a bummer. But we had Bundesliga duos going on. And I think as weird as it sounds, well, not as weird as it sounds, kind of the outcome of everybody getting very excited about Bundesliga during the 5X hot streaks. And now it seems like Bundesliga is getting a little harder. And obviously part of that was we had Der Klassiker this weekend, which was a interesting kind of outcome, or excuse me, an interesting match that happened during this Bundesliga duos competition because it felt like a lot of people were utilizing particularly Bayern Munich cards for the streaks, particularly the 5X, and then have the arguably their toughest matchup this weekend for the duos. I think we do get another game week to try it though. So, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Mike Baston said, can we take a minute to spotlight the winning team in JPL Rare D1, please? Sure. Even though I know exactly what you're talking about here. So let's see what that lineup is. For those of you who do not know what the winning lineup was for that competition. So let's see. I actually don't even play Jupiler, so it's not going to show up as one of my my current ones. Here's Jupiler. And we wanted, I can just scroll. Division 1 limited, 2 limited, 3 limited. I assume actually limited. Well, actually, I don't know if it's the same. Is it this one, Mike? Mamba's lineup? I don't know why my computer is being a little slow here. Come on. There we go. It'll just give us this one. All right. This was first place in Jupiler Rare D1, which for some reason I thought this was not the lineup I thought I was originally looking for, Mike. Are we sure it was D1? Is it Chi-Town Sports? The only reason why I know, or the lineup we were talking about, I thought it was a Zulte Wargrim stack. But this looks like a lot of Club Bruges against. Yeah, what was it, Mike? I don't know why I thought it was something else. Let's see. Maybe it was in. No, there's more. Mike, what are we looking at? Rare. Hold on. JPL Rare D1. That's this one. Mamba 1. Jackers, Mekle, Hainin, Zolis, and Forbes. Yeah, for some reason I thought that one, maybe it's Division 2. Division 2, very different lineup here. We have Brent Gabriel, Gary Magny, Haspelat the Goat, captained, Lion Lauerbach, great name, and Sadiq from Genk. That won $300 and 250 essence. And then Division 3, Il Fenomeno, man. Ipolo, Fossi, Mbamba, Torgan Hazard, and Luke Marinisen. Oh no, There's been an Opta adjustments, and it's 36th now. What kind of adjustment is that? Oh, 36th. There are screenshots here of showing this lineup in first. This was it. What was the Opta adjustment? Poor lad's gone from $1,530 to $20. Was there a decisive captain lost his decisive? Oh no. Oh, that's killer. So this lineup was in first and was only one decisive captain decisive. Oh no, Poku decisive away from finishing first place. We hate to see it. Hate to see it. But that does give us the opportunity to go through the top players for this game week. For those of you who do not know how to do this, all you have to do is hit the My Lineups or View My Lineups page or button here. And then if you go to top players right here on the top left, you can see all the top players. And what actually, one of the things that what does this mean? Sorry, this kind of looked like they got all of these decisive actions instead of just one of them. But one of the things that we notice every game week is how many players we've never heard of that scored 100 points. And obviously there's some that we do know, although I'm still scrolling and I'm not sure. Wow, Achimpong got 100? How about that? But like I said, I'm like still scrolling here. There's Charlie Cresswell, who I had in Division One, had in League On in season, then took him out on Friday. There's Juan Brunetta, Nathan Ake, Simsier, Montiel, so many of my players, and yet I didn't really use them in lineups. There's Angelo Stiller for those who got him in for the Bundesliga duos. But the reason why, or the thing that I noticed quickly about this, and it felt like the MLS scores were really high this game week. And there was a lot of talk before the game week about how there could be a lot of rotation because it was decision day, which for those of you who are unaware is the last regular season game week for MLS. And for the teams that were already, had already clinched their playoff spot and they couldn't move, within the table to figure out if they were going to have home field advantage or not. Or I know Philadelphia had already won the Supporter Shield, so they didn't really need to put out their best team. And for teams that weren't in the playoffs, were they going to play? And so there was a lot of talk about possible rotations. And I know a number of people kind of decided to skip their streak or to, they just changed their lineups or sometimes maybe didn't necessarily enter in Division One, and it felt like the scores were really high. There were a number of people that hit their streaks. I know a couple people that were going for their fifth streak, and they got it, and it just felt like the scores were really high this game week. Like the number of people who hit the fifth streak and then like only got like the minimum essence reward from MLS, and I was like, man, MLS must have been really high scoring. And so I used this page. And you can sort it by competition. And when I went to MLS, the thing that surprised me the most is that there was only one 100 in all of Major League Soccer. And of course, it was Lionel Messi. But I was like, man, it just felt like scores were so high that to have only one 100. Now, again, 98, only 2 away from 100. So you can still score really highly without the 100. But it was just surprising to me how few it was. And frankly, these are all like from Evander up. So we had Messi, Verskov, Dreyer, and McVeigh from San Diego. We had a San Diego threesome there from 97, 97, 98. Edward Lowen, Evander. Those were all of the 90s, 90 plus in MLS. And yet it felt like, now, again, San Diego's a pretty popular stack. Messi's obviously Messi. Evander is quite popular. And so JT said, I got 2 lineups over 427, 163 essence. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It felt like maybe it was just like a lot of guys at 80. The page is still loading here. Yeah, there you go. Luca Bombia, another 2 more San Diego guys. I mean, my God, did everybody from San Diego just smash? The answer is probably going to be yes. As I click on a non-San Diego guy. Sorry about that. Bambino. Let's see. So San Diego won 4-0. Obviously, that's going to help them get there. So Corey Baird, a little light there. All right. So Pellegrino, 82. Dreyer, 97. Valakari, 85. McVeigh, 97. Sverikov, 98. Bombino, 86. Dos Santos, 72. So, yeah, I mean, I think like Dos Santos, McVeigh, Sverikov, Dreyer. Obviously, we didn't have Lozano, but yeah, that's a heck of a. I mean, yeah, that you're gonna go pretty far when that's your team. Thomas Muller, 83 with a decisive in Vancouver's loss. But let's see, what else did he have here? Not too much crazy stuff. Not even a big chance created, but he was there. There's Carlos Heel, Almiron, 83. Hyungmin Sun, 82. So I guess there were like a decent number of 80s even. Let's see, 24 guys at 80 or above. I don't know. It's just a lot. Just a lot. It felt like for MLS, just a lot of high scores. I mean, I guess we could actually see how high the scores were. So Division 1, first place was 565. Kalina, Wagner, Evander, Messi, Sverkov, or Tverkov, Verskov. Anyway, Wagner, the 69 without a decisive. Yeah, that's a great lineup. Let's see. What did the rare? Top in rare. Kalina, Wagner, Dreyer. Was that the same? No, hold on. Dreyer. Oh, he's Evander versus Dreyer was the only difference, basically. When John Pulskamp is the highest scoring keeper, you know it's a weird game week. 7 MLS keepers with 60 plus scores helped, which is funny because I was going through like all of the outfield players with good scores, but you're right. Like, I guess, shout out to our good friend Tuggy, who's currently sitting third here. Dos Santos, Bombino. I believe he said he had McVeigh in there and then switched to Bombino, although they were pretty similar. Verskov, Dreyer, and Carlos Heel. So San Diego plus Carlos Heel. Love to see that. And then Goat Sniffa in fourth, with just a lot of San Diego. There's some LAFC. So yeah, I mean, I guess they're not like overwhelmingly high. 603 was first place in rare. And then what did super rare look like? A. Harry, Dos Santos, Alba, Gill, Messi, Verskov. No. Oh yeah, because the uniques have their own still in MLS. I forgot about that. 6 Hemps won it for MLS in unique. Takeoka, Wagner, Gill, Ojeda, and Verskov, excuse me. Pranksy second and third. GG's. Let's see. Blake, Wagner, Evander, Sun, and Bowanga. Wow, that's a great lineup. Rocco Rios, no, and then the Miami stack. Not bad. Not bad at all. And yeah, let's see here. What else did we have for top players? Somebody mentioned Koga. Where was that? Note Koga of Racehall got 100 without a decisive. I owned a Koga once. I won it this season and sold it fairly early on. Where is he? There he is. Just the 75 all around. 36 points from defending. Let's see. 3 tackles, 1. So a triple thanks to, let's see, 9 duels won, none lost, 3 interceptions, and 3 tackles. That'll do it. Not a lick of attacking points, but, you know, he's a center back. And, yeah, they did get the clean sheet. Yeah, 36 defending is crazy. Was he the highest without a decisive? He was. So he Yeah, no decisive there. And the next highest without a decisive was Marat Bokoev from Akron. And I'm guessing he doesn't have any cards. Card supply, nil. All right, so he doesn't count. And then, so the next one, next highest without a decisive. Here we go. Diego Costa, not the one we're thinking of, but some sort of Krasnodar defender, supposedly. Who also doesn't seem to have cards. Okay. So we'll throw him out too. Who else we got here? I mean, obviously, scoring highly usually means you get a decisive. Oh, there we go. Nicholas Acevedo from Bahia, who former New York City FC. Surely Quinny has. Do we think Quinny has like a jerseyman of Acevedo? At least one? Let's find out. Nicholas Acevedo. I mean, he's got the New York City FC badge. Acevedo. Jersey mint. We love to see it. Two years ago. Love it, Quinny. Absolutely love it. I think this is part of a Max collection too. Of course it is. 24 of 24. Oh, we're ranked second. Who pipped him? IAK. Must have just gotten them all right away. But there he is. Hopefully Acevedo. Oh, the Maxi signature card. I forgot about that. Hopefully he had Acevedo in a lineup. What did he do? Let's see. Only a triple double. So that's 5 tackles, 1, 13 to 2 duels, but only 2 interceptions. He was 1 interception away. And that's another 6 points. So he would have been on 99 with one more interception. Whew. And then some guy from Red Star. So not bad. I mean, like Evander scored. I mean, I guess a bunch of these guys scored 91. So I guess if we just look site-wide or platform-wide, let's say, 136 players scored 90 plus. Oh my goodness, Gabriel Florentin. I forgot about this. 49 minutes. Goal and an assist. And a bunch of AA. Gabriel Florentin, welcome back, sir. Unfortunately, Argentina Superliga is on, or have cup matches this weekend. Yeah. All right, let's see here. I got some streak data if we're going to go back to MLS for a hot second here. Let's see. Pull this up. So this is MLS hot streaks. So it looks like this is in limited. So if I read this correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 259 people in limited hit the 5th streak this game week, which is a lot. My gosh. And in rare, 38 hit it. Let me double check on that. What was the number we said? 259. Wow. What's up, Hoax? HOCSX. I don't know, that's how I'm going to say it. But anyway, this is the MLS data. 315 people reached the 4th streak. I don't think I reached much. this game week. Let me see here. I think I only got to the second because I lost the streak. I thought I lost the streak 2 game weeks ago. Let's see. All right, MLS. So I got to the second streak. So I am in this second and limited. So I'm one of the 1,141. We had 259. Geez, that's a lot of people. Obviously, MLS Masters was last week for all of the people that had either the second or the third or the A Bear. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing that either today. I noticed that I don't know why it's doing that. It's showing like people's screen name or like actual handles instead of their names. Let me see. Is it showing up like that? It's like on all of YouTube. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, so the Masters was last week where we had people going for, people who hit the third and the fifth streak. And or maybe that was 2 weeks. Was that 2 weeks ago? No, I think that was last week. Yeah. But anyway, or 2 weeks. I'm all mixed up now. They all kind of blur at this point, but 259 people hitting the fifth streak in limited. And what did we say? 38 in rare on the last regular season game week. Now, Sorare announced, we actually talked about this last week on Sorare Spotlight. Sorare confirmed that as long as there were 10 teams playing in the playoffs, they were going to include like in-season competitions were going to be open, which meant streaks were going to be open. And then Sorare confirmed even after that, or a subsequent confirmation that hot streaks for MLS are going to continue regardless of how many teams are playing, which is a really fun benefit. MLS playoff celebration finished this season with a bang, but basically confirming that hot streaks not only will continue through the final, like the MLS Cup final, but they're going to double the streaks. And so, in the last 3 game weeks, they'll be doubled, not from now on. And so obviously we'll have fewer teams playing. And so depending on which teams advance, you may not have all of the cards necessary to continue your streak, but streaks in MLS will continue through MLS Cup final, which I think is a really cool thing that they added, because they kind of had confirmed that as long as there were 10 teams, it was going to be open. That was going to follow the standard rules. But now they are doing kind of extra stuff. And they're going to be daily missions for MLS where you can earn essence, market credits, and more by following the most intense moments of the postseason. So for all of these people who did not get to their fifth streak by the end of the regular season, don't worry. It's going to keep going. It just obviously any cards that you have of teams that maybe will skip the first round or didn't make the playoffs, like you'll have to kind of finagle your way around with with your lineups, just because not everyone is going to be available. So that is the data from MLS. And let's see here. I believe I have. Yeah, we can look at the other competitions as well, because Sower has been nice enough to share it with me. So let's see what else we got. If you just noticed, and I'm going to pat myself on the back here, I did have some fairly successful streaks this week, all except, like I said at the beginning, the one I wanted to hit the most was Bundesliga, because not only this was my first week playing Bundesliga, but not only would I needed 360 to get the top streak, to get the first streak, but they also had Bundesliga Duo where I needed to score 380 points to win $50. And I see Sorare Deek here, who was who referred me, smashed it. My goodness. 436. We got to look at his lineups. Hold on. How did he get to 436? Would love a filter on this page, by the way. If anybody if Tolga's there. 436. So we have, So we've got Nubel, Mittelstadt, Stiller, Tim Lemperl, and Bilal El Kanous. That's how you do it. The worst part is that I have Nubel and I have Stiller in my top lineup from Bundesliga. But here I had Stiller here, but I split them. I had Nubel and Jeff. I don't know if it's Chabot. Where is he from? Oh, he's German. Maybe it's Chabot. I don't know. But I split them for some reason. So instead, I got this 25 from Paul Nebel, which I wouldn't have gotten there anyway because my forwards were so bad. This one was kind of a throwaway anyway. But I don't think Nubel, Chabot, Stiller, Chima, and Sinani would have gotten there. Maybe. I don't know. I saw Paulo Diaz remembered how to score reasonably well again. What's funny is that I didn't even play my Paulo Diaz's because he wasn't expected to start. What did he score? 61? Yeah, that's not bad. But I had Montiel, who did get 100. Anyway, so looking at some other streak data, let's see what else we got here. Here is Challenger. So there's nobody hit the 5th streak in Challenger this game week in limited or rare. And in fact, nobody even hit the 4th one in rare. It's like Challenger's getting tough. Now, granted, there was no Portuguese Primeira Liga this game week. So if you're somebody like me who went heavy on Primeira Liga cards, then you probably just took the game week off. Instead of taking the game week off, I added some Fenerbahce cards, and two of the cards, literally the first 2 cards I bought, Ederson and Skriniar, didn't play this game week. But it ended up being okay because I built out a bit of a collection. And so I was able, where's Challenger? Here we go. So I bought Jaden Oosterwolde and Kaglar Soyuncu and Edson Alvarez, actually, and Ishmael Yuksek to pair with basically the ones that I thought I was going to play all the time were Ederson, Skriniar, and Aktürkoğlu. Aktürkoğlu with an assist. I crafted this Samuel Sahin Radlinger who saved. Is that a last man tackle? Last man tackle. Gotta love it. And a yellow card, but 60 points despite giving up 2 goals. Captain Alexandru Maxim. And so this lineup got me the streak, 391. This one was short because Nkunku didn't play. But Dorglis also had a fine game for Fener. Let's see that. Did he score? I'm assuming since you said that. Little clearance off the line. Okay. Talisca goal. Asensio assist. And then, yeah, Ederson's still out. I actually don't know what Ederson's situation is. They do play midweek. So let's check our friends over at Sorare Inside if they say anything about him. I don't remember. So they have Stuttgart this week. Ederson's 60%. Regarding the lineup, whether Ederson will play in this match is still uncertain. Okay. I think those competitions are late swap or late deadline, but we'll see. So yeah. So I happen to be one of the 1,686 who got the first streak in limited. There were 165 in rare who hit the first streak and we're just working our way up. And then in contender, 10 people hit the 5th streak in limited. Nobody hit it in rare, but GG's to those people. 74 will be going for the top streak next game week, which will be fun. My top lineup was actually a contender lineup, but not I think this was I can't remember if this was my second or third. I had the issue. So Racing Club, we're going back and forth. We didn't know if Cambesas was going to start. So I actually hit the rare streak, but that's only my first one, 418 points. So I'm one of these 165 who got the first streak. Hebert said I'm going for the third in contender. So there's 62 people who hit the third, 223 who are going for their third next game week in limited, 14 in rare. But I guess this was my top lineup here. Armani, and so I could have. So I have 3 Franco Armanis. So I realized the absurdity of that. So I had this lineup here. I had Cambesas and Basso in my top lineup because Racing had the better matchup, but I didn't. But I moved them down to my lowest lineup because the Cambesas was uncertain to play. So 367 points here, 423 in this lineup. So these two got promoted from D3 to D2. Oh, this one also got promoted, 355 points. Unfortunately, I had this 100 from Montiel, Galapo, straight DNP. And then this was my priority lineup. Armani, Basso, yes, I have 2 of them. Lanzini got a decisive for Velez. Cecina, the GOAT, captain, of course. And then Facundo Mayo, 81. That's a nice game from him. No decisive. Yeah, we take it. So 487. So let's see, $11 here plus the streak. So I needed 360 for the streak, and I did it with 3 of the 4 lineups. I feel like I should get something extra for that, right? Or maybe, actually, that would be a fun. Could you imagine if you like hit the level by like with 4 lineups, like 4? Obviously, I didn't do it this time. I was 5 short here. So it wouldn't apply to me. So you can tell that I'm doing this for the community, not for myself. But if you all 4 of your lineups hit the whatever streak you're on, then you get to skip one. So like I'm on the first one here, but if all 4 hit the first streak, then I get to go to the third. Let's make that happen. We can speak that into existence now that since we're on the Sorare channel here. But yeah, a little unfortunate with this Montiel 100 because I had 2 Montiels and, one some essence, one some XP. It's funny that this was actually the lineup that finished first. So that gave me credit for this one to go for the, for hot streaks. But let's see, $11 here, 1,000 essence, and then 500 XP and 100 essence for this one. But now next game week, I have 1 Division 1 lineup and 2 Division 2s, and Argentina Superliga is on break. And so the only cards that are going to be playing next week in all of these lineups are Teji Savigny, who is a classic card, Davidashvili, also classic, and Cecina, if he's even playing next game week. I don't even know yet. I haven't looked. But this is what happens when you play Argentina and it's the end of the season, or they have a cup matches. Like I'm going to have some work to do here. My best lineup was 426 points. My Tokyo Verde collection bonus paid off, and Biblija had a great game for Paderborn. Also got me a picker for a double decisive. Love that. Love that. I have to say, people were very excited about the double decisive missions. I feel like there's more talk about missions now than ever. And obviously, Sorare told us that we would be getting more of them as the season went on, and it feels like those are starting to become more regular, and they're more creative. And I have to say, they're fun enough that people are talking about them. And so, whoever is in charge of missions on Sorare, great job on that, because people are loving them. So that's the contender and challenger data. Here I have, let's see, got a lot more coming in here. That's another. So we'll do this one first. England, France, and Germany. I participated in France and Germany. Germany, I was unable to even get this first streak, but 8 people hit the 5th streak in Bundesliga this game week in limited. Nobody hit it in rare. And let's see, in Ligue 1, 2 people will be going for the 5th streak next game week in limited. and nobody's even beyond the second streak in rare. Wow. Oh, that's not true. Sorry. There may have been some skippers. So 40 people got to or hit the second streak, and so we'll be going for the third in rare. And then for Premier League, 85 people hit the third streak, so they'll be going for the fourth streak next game week. One person hit the fourth streak in rare, so they'll be going for the fifth streak in Prem. Wow, Prem rare next game week. 1 and 0. Well, I guess that's, again, it's not necessarily 1 going for it, but 1 will be going for it after hitting the fourth streak this game week. And just seeing how many zeros there are for the 4 and 5 categories in limited and rare in Premier League and Ligue 1, just showing it's there. It's how tough it is. I just feel missions are still a little bit too hard. The triple picker bonus is virtually unachievable. I disagree that it's unachievable. I mean, I think they're supposed to be hard. And so, yeah, I think that's all it is. I think they're supposed to be kind of on the more difficult side. Some of them are easier, but the triple bonus, like, I think that's like a super bonus. And so I wouldn't necessarily expect any of those to be on the easier side. I don't think we can see the ones for the midweek yet. They are daily decisive. So yeah, nothing yet for the midweek. So that's England, France, and Germany. And then I also have here, let's see, Netherlands and Spain. So La Liga and Eredivisie. What do we see here? So 6 people, nobody hit the fifth streak in any of them this game week. 6 people hit the fourth streak in Eredivisie limited, and no one hit the fourth in rare. In La Liga, same thing, just a lot of zeros. 4 people hitting the fourth streak in La Liga limited. I don't know if were the scores even that high in La Liga this game week. I don't remember. I know like Yamal came back, got an assist, but I don't think his overall, like his total score ended up being that great. Let's see here. Anthony tops at 98. Noble Mendy, Pep Chavaria, 92. Fornals, 91. Pedri, 80. So literally 91 to 98. Four players in the 90s for La Liga. I guess Rayo Vallecano was where it was at this game week. Shout out to Azimac. Hopefully he had some sort of lineup there. Let's see. 3-0 win away to Levante. And it just feels like everybody got a decisive except Pedro Diaz, Fran Perez, and Alemão. But everyone else, pretty good. What do we think the top lineups rewards? Here we go. What does La Liga look like this game week? Here we go. Oh, NCF 600. Wait, GG's to him. Here we go. So the top lineup, yeah, Batalla, Lejeune from Vallecano, Fornals, Anthony, and Marcos Alonso, who's on fire, was the first place in La Liga. So this is a $2,000 lineup, meaning $2,000 won, 520 points. Second place, Unai Simon, Eder Militao, Pedri, Mbappe, Yamal. There's Sorare right there. That's yeah. That's like when you're like, oh, there's no way to compete with these huge lineups. Look at this. Simone, Militao, Pedri, Mbappe, Yamal. And you're like, no, just play a Vallecano stack, a Vallecano defensive stack, a Betis attacking stack, and a Marcos Alonso one-off. NCF played Oblak, Militao, Pedri, Yamal, Mbappe. No Mercy, Pedri, Anthony, Fornals, Garcia, Herrera. Actually, not that much Vallecano. First place in rare, Simone, Pedro Bigas, Pedri, Mbappe, and Guler. Jeez, what a... Second place, Courtois, Militao, Guler, Mbappe, and Pedri. Okay, this is starting to get me depressed, so I'm not going to keep looking. Anyway, let's see where we were. So yeah, a couple fourth streakers going next game week. And finally, we can't forget our good friends in the Jupiler Pro League. 4 people hitting the fourth streak. Nobody hit the fifth in limited or rare. 1 hit the fourth streak in rare, and 1 in... Wow. What's going on with Jupiler? I can't decide if this is like a good time to get in or not. Mike said, just seen I hit the Bundesliga streak, collected it, and have now been opted down, so I wouldn't have gotten it. Only the first streak, so no big loss to Sorare's pockets. Not yet, Mike. The loss will be when you hit that 5th streak. But congratulations on that. Maybe I got it. Maybe I got a 60-point adjustment. Let me check real quick. No. There's a lineup here somewhere. Surely. I don't know what it is yet. So yeah, I think that's a decent enough review. Actually, I wanted to check Bundesliga again because what did we say here? Yeah, it's still Bayern. So Schweberman won $2,000 in this lineup. Nubel and Mittelstadt, the Stuttgart defensive stack. Grimaldo 100. My God, Grimaldo has been so good. And then Olise and Kane. I feel like this is literally the lineup of the best players in the Bundesliga right now. Mittelstadt and Grimaldo, by far the best defenders. David Raum probably is like, hey, what about me? But like these guys, Olise, one of the best players, Kane there too. Like, man, you would expect to win with that lineup. And this one is the same lineup. Oh my gosh, look at that. 534.33, 534.28, 0.05 difference. And it was basically just Olise versus Kimmich. Obviously, the XP is probably different and all that stuff. And then this one is Kimmich, Olise, Kane, along with Nubel and Grimaldo. So, yeah, I mean, I guess with Der Klassiker, like the Bayern attacking players showed up. And so if you just had kind of a defensive options elsewhere, Nubel got the clean sheet against away to Wolfsburg. And then, yeah, Grimaldo, I mean, they conceded 3 times, Bayer Leverkusen, but he still got 100. And how about the Grimaldo captain, despite Kane, Olise, and Kimmich here? That's a heck of a call. Obviously nailed it. Wow, that is a great lineup. And then in rare, Nubel, Grimaldo, Olise, Kimmich, Kane, basically the same thing. That was like that 3rd place lineup. Super rare, any different? Yeah, it is. Vasilj, 32, but Kane, Kimmich, Olise, Grimaldo. So it's actually not that much different. Vasilj, Grimaldo, Kimmich, Mittelstadt, Kane. Neuer, Mittelstadt, Kimmich, Olise, Kane. Yeah, these are boring. Anyway, let's go back. What was it? Jupiler. Let's see what those look like. Jupiler Pro League. So top lineup. Oh, this is one. Yeah, we were looking at this before. I forgot about that. Jacker. Yeah, there's just a lot. 491. Vasilj cost me the 3rd streak, him and Uzun. I mean, if 2 guys cost you the 3rd streak, it maybe you cost yourself the 3rd streak. Anyway, but not a lot of movement in terms of getting to the top, at least for the 5th streaks. But you can't get to the 5th streak without hitting the 1st streak. And so congratulations to all those who have moved on their streaks this game week and will look to extend them next weekend. DJ Local, what's up? Good to see you. Speaking of next game week, let's do that. Let's jump in. Like I mentioned at the beginning, we have European champions this game week. We have both European Knights, which is all of the Champions League teams, and then we have European Leagues, which is Europa League and Conference League. Halligan said they both need to hit 35 yesterday, but they both got negative AA. That's tough. That's tough. So we have $2,500 up for grabs in limited. As you can see here, I already put some lineups in. I'll admittedly don't focus on midweeks that much. And so with the lack of relegation, I'm just like, oh, all right, I'll just throw some cards in. And so I have this one here, which is a half Benfica, half Sporting, which I think anybody who's passionate about one of those clubs is probably disgusted at this. But I've got Benfica, 3 Benfica cards away to Newcastle, and then Sporting are at home against Marseille. And here I have Monaco at home against Tottenham with a little bit of Sporting. And I had this one here, Sporting home against Marseille, as I said, and then Inter away to USG. But $2,500 up for grabs, or excuse me, up for the first place, $200 for fifth place. Bunch of credits and Essence and XP available in those. And then in Rare, 3,000 up for grabs, down to 100 for 20th place. And then again, credits, Essence, and XP. But these are the matches that we will be competing in. There's Barcelona at home against Olympiacos. That's going to be probably, well, we'll look at the odds in a little bit, but Barcelona are pretty near the top. Villarreal hosting Man City, USG at home against Inter, which we were just saying for Çalhanoğlu. There's Newcastle and Benfica. I don't know. Oh, because I hit the limited. Hold on. Or hit rare. Let me do this just to show off that I have cards here. Makes me feel a little bit better knowing I can compete. That's little compete, not big compete. But anyway, Arsenal at home against Atletico Madrid. Bayer Leverkusen hosting PSG. PSG heavily rotated on Friday, ruining lineups everywhere, including me. PSV at home against Napoli. Copenhagen hosting Dortmund. And then it's funny to see Athletic Club Karabag in the Champions League, but here we are. Galatasaray against Bodo Glimt. Don't sleep on Bodo Glimt. Atalanta home against Slavia Prague. All right. There's Monaco Spurs. Real Madrid hosting Juventus. Was that a Champions League final recently? Not like last year, but like when was that? Who did Juve play when they made the Champions League final? I'm just going to look at my list of UCL finals here. It was. Look at that. I don't know how recent. I guess that's not that recent. But yeah. Real Madrid 4-1 against Juventus in Cardiff. Look at that. Who do we think scored in this one? They're going to just show us. There's a lot here. Details. Here we go. Ronaldo, Brace, Casemiro, and Asensio. Mario Mandzukic. Wow. Mike knew that they played in Cardiff before I even pulled it up. Let's see. There are a bunch of people in this game. So this game was in 2000. Did I say 17? 2017. Keylor Navas still playing. Carvajal still playing. Ramos still playing. Casemiro still playing. Modric still there. Isco, Benzema, Ronaldo. Kovacic, Morata still in there. And then on the Juve side, let's see. This team was always much older. What happened to Pjanic? He retired? Dybala still going. Oh, Lamina might still be there. Cuadrado. Cristiano Ronaldo, man of the match. Anyway, so that's fun. I'm sure they'll talk about that during the match. Sporting home against Marseille. Frankfurt home against Liverpool. What is going on with Liverpool? Chelsea home against Ajax, and then Bayern Munich hosting Club Bruges. So this uh, is all for the European champions. As a reminder, these are kind of standard in-season competitions for the cash contest of this. So minimum 4 in-season cards, all the other stuff is there. And then there is a Champions Classic, which is SO7, 10 stars up for grabs. And these are all just classic cards available. I'm not even sure I have a team of like actual starters. Let's see. There's Jackers. Oh, Flecken. Oh, against PSG. Great. I'm not going to do lineups yet. I feel like I'm not ready yet. Meaning I'm ready today. Just let's keep going through this just to see because just because. All right. So European leagues. Again, this is Europa and Conference League. And it's, obviously a lot of players that we have. Go Ahead Eagles hosting Aston Villa. Go Ahead Eagles also have a very good matchup at the weekend, if I remember correctly, for the people going. Somebody was going for their 5th streak. I apologize. I forget who it was. It was somebody, might have been someone in the Laird Social Club Discord, and I seem to have lost the Eredivisie one. Hold on. Where did that one go? It's not that one. Here we go. 6 people go in limited will be going for the 5th streak, or at least 6 will be going for the 5th streak in Eredivisie. And Go Ahead have someone. Go Ahead play Excelsior, yeah. So, but coming off of this Aston Villa match, so who knows like what they'll do. Anyway, Lyon against Basel, Shakhtar Donetsk against Legia Warsaw. I don't even know what this is. Shkendijila against Shelbourne. Shelbourne sounds like it's in Australia, but I assume it's not. Feyenoord against Panathinaikos, if you will. Salzburg against Ferencvaros. Fener against Stuttgart. Brand hosting Rangers. Oh, they're Vallecano playing midweek as well. Oof. Let's see. Braga against Red Star. Red Star. Genk Betis. Ooh, that's fun. That's a class. That'll be like a classic Sorare matchup. Genk Betis. Rijeka against Slavia Prague. Wait, didn't we say Slavia Prague before? Or was that someone else? Oh, I guess not. Strasbourg against, Jagiellonia Bielstock. Bielstock? Is that Polish? I can't even copy it. Can't even copy it. Oh, well. Rapid Vienna hosting Fiorentina. Samson Spor, Dynamo Kiev. Crystal Palace, AEK. That one, and that's AEK Larnaca. What is this team? Universitat Craiova? Anyway, Celtic against Sturm Graz. Plenty of cards in that one. AZ against Slovan Bratislava. Mainz against Rinčki. Forest Porto. Forest with their 3rd manager in 8 weeks. Lincoln Red Imps against Lech Poznan. Midtjylland traveling to face Maccabi Tel Aviv. Lille against PAOK. PAOK? I don't know. Freiburg Utrecht. Celta Vigo Nice. We'll play plenty of cards in those 3 because, well, I guess not PAOK. Young Boys against Ludogorets. Oh, and then Lausanne Sport against Hamrun Spartans. That sounds fun. So same thing here. In-season cards required for this one. $1,000 to 1st place, $100 to 5th. And there's also an SO7 classic for this. We also have another championship competition that should have all available teams. It's Lech Poznan. Did I say Lech? I probably did, so apologies for that. And then we have All-Star, 25 stars up for grabs in limited D1. And what do we think? 5 in rare? Yep, 5 in rare. And here we have many more matches because anything that is not part of Europa Champions or Champions League, Europa League, or Europa Conference. And so we have a little championship here: Portsmouth, Coventry, Norwich, away to Derby, Hull, Leicester, Ipswich. All right, so that's all Tuesday before, at least kicking off before the before the Champions League matches. Excuse me. And then, no, actually, a couple are mixed in there. And then we've got some Argentina. So maybe that, oh man, actually don't know how much Argentina, but we'll find out. We've got some Brazil. There's Mineiro, Liga MX, Necaxa against Cruz Azul. That's a Palavecino versus Paradella matchup. Always love to see that. And then is this Asian Champions League or is this just J League? Asian, must be Asian Champions League with this logo here. Gangwon event against Vissel Kobe, and then Shanghai Shenhua against Seoul. Oh yeah, that's a Chinese club, obviously. That's Wednesday. That's morning. These times are all local for me, so that's Wednesday morning for me. Early afternoon in Europe. And then let's see, we've got some more. I don't even know what this. Why would they use that? They're 2 Turkish Super League matches. There are also games going on today. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we've got Turkish Superliga midweek. I wonder if these were rescheduled because of, I don't remember why, if anyone knows. Let's see. We're using, is that the Welsh flag for, oh, a little split flag there? Oh, wow. That's fun. Swansea and Wrexham. Why not? Oh, yeah. Nicholas Madsen played this past weekend. Did I have him in a lineup? Not sure why we went to the NBA page. Here we go. Sorry for the quick tangent here, but I did play him. 39 against Millwall. Just losing possession too much. Bummer, dude. Anyway. Okay. Some more championship. There's Brazil. Internacional traveling to Bahia. Some more Argentina. We got MLS. Is this the first round now? Flamengo Racing. That's Copa Libertadores. Flamengo are big favorites. All right. There's some Liga MX. Yeah, there's more MLS. So Chicago, Orlando, Portland, RSL. More Liga MX midweek. And then is this all European? I'm just cheating with the flag here. Oh no, we got some more Copa Libertadores. Peru, Sporting Cristal hosting Universitario. That is Thursday. And then we've got 2 Chinese Super League matches on Friday, including Wuhan Three Towns, everybody's favorite Wuhan. Okay. We just got a notification from Sorare, but where did that go? Oh, it was NBA hot streaks as well. That was the notification. For those of you who are playing NBA, hot streaks are going 5x for the beginning of the season, which that's a lot. I did see the Victor Wembanyama unique sold yesterday. Congrats to Sorare on that. If you're into NBA and you're curious, what that card looks like, it looks like this. This is the new one. Here he is. Sold to Mr. U069 So congratulations to him. Cool card. I believe he has both or two of the three Wemby uniques. He does. He has these two. Baya instead of Bahia, Baya. That sounds about right. But anyway, so looking at, I guess, do we look at All Star? Let's look at just let's see if this can do this for us. European, of course, they can do it for us. So looking just at the odds for the upcoming European champions, Barcelona are the biggest favorite, and they're home against Olympiacos. So I don't think it's that surprising, but there they are. Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and I'm going to fade this just to make it a little easier to look at, which is funny because I unfaded it earlier today. And I think the fade actually does make it easier to see. Just in terms of like the actual favorites. So we have Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Athletic Club, Atalanta, Real Madrid, Galatasaray. 65 and above. This Galatasaray one, Bodo Glimt. I don't know, man. They've been good. I guess away from home, they're not quite as strong, but they're still quite good. There's Newcastle at home against Benfica. Liverpool favored away to Frankfurt. Man, really? Arsenal home against Atletico Madrid. Sorry, I had a notification pop up. Where were we? PSG favored quite comfortably away to Bayer Leverkusen. Probably not the ideal Grimaldo game, huh? Was it Budo who gave Spurs a fright? Yes, it was. But frankly, Mike, they should have won that game. Meaning Budo should have won that game. It was right here. Yep, 2-2. And if I remember correctly, Spurs scored late. '89th minute own goal to draw to avoid shock loss. If you play Sorare, you know that wouldn't have been a shock loss. Budo Glimt are legit. Anyway, Inter away to USG, Man City away to Villarreal, unsurprising. Dortmund away to Copenhagen, certainly believe that. That's like a Mukoku revenge game, sort of. Isn't that who it was? Look at that. Sporting favored at home against Marseille. With Chevalier in goal and a free kick in PSG's half, it's at least 60 plus for Grimaldo. I think Chevalier is better than that, but maybe not. So yeah, Sporting there against Marseille, Napoli away to PSV. These are all starting to get a little tighter. Spurs favored away to Monaco, and then Paphos and Karat dead heat. So I guess it's really Barcelona and Bayern stacks, or Chelsea. Wonder if Chelsea could sneak in there. Ajax are in trouble and play next weekend. I mean, I guess that most of them play next weekend anyway, but I feel like Chelsea's depth allows them to be a little easier to rotate, or, at least from a team perspective, easier to rotate. Obviously drives us nuts. Chelsea, yeah. So let's see. What are we expecting from Barca? Obviously, Yamal will be starting there. Yeah, Rafinha's still out, though. Pedri only 70%. Let's see. Ferran Torres and Rafinha ruled out. Christensen out. Or I'm sorry, Christensen didn't train. And so that's Let me see here. Hold on. Sorry. Let's see. I think the biggest question is whether Tony Fernandez will start again as a false nine or use Roney on the wing. Another possibility is Fermin at left wing and keep Casado, Pedri, and De Jong in midfield again. It's a lot of question marks, all right. Oh, yeah. I wanted to see if is there like an extended deadline here? 21 hours and 53 minutes. So no extended deadline for champions. Is there for European leagues? No. Okay. So we have just a regular deadline. Okay. And then for European leagues, let's see who our biggest favorites are. Crystal Palace and Mainz. 86 and 85% chance to win, respectively. They played Araujo as a forward last game in Girona, and it worked. That's for Barcelona. Okay. A bit of a mess right now, though. And then we have Lech Poznan. Oh, that was the Lech that somebody corrected me on. Lech Poznan, big favorites away to Lincoln Red Imps. I don't know where they are. Gibraltar. And they're fourth in the Gibraltar National League. Fourth, but 26 goals scored and 2 conceded. But they've only played 5 matches. I'm guessing they are getting them postponed for these Champions League games. But this looks like a very top-heavy table. This looks like yeah. Yikes. Okay. But anyway, good luck to the Imps. AZ, big favorite against Bratislava. AEK against Aberdeen. Not much for the SPFL side there. Roma against Victoria Pilsen. Okay. Strasbourg against that 75 letters. Let's see. Is this team Polish? Yeah, it is. Okay. Looked Polish. Like the name looked Polish. I think Celtic is too high at the list against an Austrian league first place team against Sturm Graz. That does seem high. And I was today years old when I learned that Kelechi Iheanacho plays for Celtic. How about that? But let's see. Nothing too crazy. Alistair Johnson possibly back. Jota ACL. Did he tear his ACL again? Or is that the same one? That's the same one, right? Anyway, Carter Vickers, Scales, and Tierney. Nygren, Hatate, McGregor, midfield, and then who knows up front, other than Kelechi Iheanacho. My God. Yeah, Sturm Graz, I mean, I guess because the game is at Celtic Park, maybe they feel like the odds are a little better. I don't know any of these guys from Sturm Graz, though. Not that that means anything, but it's amazing that a Gibraltar team is playing in this competition. Yeah, I don't even know how they got in. It seems like the opposite of what the Champions League was supposed to be. Although this is Conference League, so maybe we give them a little bit of a break. Aston Villa, a way to go ahead. Briam there. Nothing to worry about. What's the Villa lineup look like? Matson, Konza, Emiliano Martinez, 60%. Yeah, goalkeeper tough to predict. That's crazy. And then Martinez, Konsa, McGinn, Rogers, Gessend have started both international games and the Spurs game. Okay, so they could be tired. There's Lyon, favorite at home against Basel. Freiburg, Utrecht. Let's see, Lyon. Yeah, they're going full Full speed ahead. Lille against PAOK. Ooh, we got a little Mbappe start. And Goy didn't play this past weekend, I don't think. And there's Haraldson. Oh, Fernandez Pardo not going to start. OH, no. European leagues. I said I wasn't going to ready to do my lineups, but here I am. So Lille, Nubel is away to Fenner. Oh, and Strasbourg. We might have something here. Skriniar against. We'll do this in a second. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Got very excited. Horvat is amazing. How's he been scoring? Or is that like a coach? I don't know who Horvat. Oh, from Sturm Graz. Okay. Horvat is good. Plays for the Slovenian national team. Certainly coming off a great game. Chukwani is mostly a DM, but scored this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. There's a Georgian that's very good. Kitishvili. Well, they're coming off a 4-3 win. There's Horvat. There's Kitishvili. And Chukwani. Oh, so you basically just got the guys who scored. Nobody else did well, literally. Karic and Malone, I guess, squeaked by. Stankovic with a last man tackle to get to 60. Bullstar, what's up? Thanks for coming in, saying hi. Where were we here? Lille, of course. Feyenoord against Panathinaikos. Watanabe did not start this past game week, which was a killer. Sorry for Watanabe, but it was only known after the deadline that he was injured. Yeah, so he's obviously 20% for the midweek, which is a bit of a bummer. Timber training again, but not fit yet. Oh, okay. And then Watanabe 1 to 2 weeks. Take a look at Kitishvili's scores. Okay. Lille defensive rotation stopped me getting a top 15 finish this week in Ligue 1. I think Ngoy got hurt, though. I think that was the reason for the... Whoops. Hold on. Kitishvili. Yeah, I mean, he's running hot. I'll put it that way. I guess his AA is not bad. Oh, and these two decisives were for over the international break against Spain and Turkey. So that's pretty good. Nice player. And Goy was on the bench. I thought I could be wrong. For some reason, I thought I saw that he was slightly injured, but if he was just on the bench, then yeah, that just did us in. Oh yeah, just DNP. You're right. Of course, in a 2-0. That's frustrating. And then what did we say for this week? Just a who knows. That's right. Is he okay? I also like So Rare Club. See if they say anything. If they have any predictions yet. That game's not for another couple days, though, so I imagine they're not rushing to get it done. There's Feyenoord. Shakhtar Donetsk against Legia Warsaw. Bologna. Young Boy. Are there even that many Bologna cards? I mean, probably, but I guess everybody's got one. Lukumi's still there, huh? Orsolini. Okay. Yeah, plenty. Young Boys, we had a Gigovic. 60%. Oh, Ravellison is there. Who knew? Mets next week's in an on streak 3. No idea what to do with their defensive stash now. Yeah, I mean, for next weekend, yeah, we're not going to know until at least they play Thursday. That's going to be such a mess. Such a mess. And Ngoy is a part of my rookie card challenge. For those of you who haven't followed that, I'm doing a challenge over on my channel, So Rare with Laird, where to see how far I can get using just rookie cards. And he has one. And I think he ruined one of my lineups this weekend. I don't think. I know he did. And in fairness, like he didn't ruin it, but he certainly contributed to the ruining. Here it is. Top lineup too. But I had a red card. Nacho Ferry with a terrible game. Goodness gracious. What is that? Against Lelouvier. Oh, this is terrible. I mean, I can't like blame Ngoy, but I will. 58 points to safety, and they won 2-0. Unfortunate. Anyway, we'll go back here. There's Vallecano, who I feel like they're just not deep enough to rotate heavily for these things. So that's fine. Sporting Braga. I think I have Victor Gomez. There we go. Braga roulette again. Let's go. Gross. And then let's see. Then nothing jumps out after this. Fiorentina, Salzburg, Dinamo Zagreb, excuse me, Bran. There's Fenner. This was the 60% Ederson, right? Yeah. Skriniar back. But a tough matchup. Home against Stuttgart. Llewellyn, I don't think played this past. Did he end up playing actually? I don't remember if I put him in the lineup or not. I had like a Division 3. I didn't even put him in. Let's see. Did he play? No. Okay. Yeah, I know he's a little banged up. But El Canus has been great. Stiller, Mittelstadt, obviously excellent. Oh, Chabot, 70%. Not what you want to see. Betis Genk. This game is in Belgium. Genk. Oh, Juni Ito minor injury. That ruined one of my arena lineups this weekend. Betis got Lo Celso, Fornals, Antony. 3 games in a week, which is not great. We got Midtjylland. Oh, Midtjylland. Absolutely smashed this game week, and now it's like, who knows who will play. This should have been my weekend, but it wasn't. Big up to Mickey Lifu, though. Antony scored 2 this weekend, right? Did he? I didn't even look. Looks like he did. 98 and 91 for Fornals. 2 assists on those 2 goals. Tenyus with a last man tackle. These goalie last man tackles are just like, what are we doing? Rayo has that guy from Betis. Mendy did really well in his debut yesterday. All right. I usually end up staying away from from La Liga. So I'm going to pull up All-Star here just to see kind of like what's outside of those competitions. So if you are playing All-Star, like I don't know if it's like worth playing Palace guys in All-Star or not. We'll look at the prizes next to each other. Tuggy, what's up? Congratulations again on another killer game week. So the top favorite is Al Hilal amongst the teams that are not playing in some sort of European competition. This is Asian Champions League here. So we've got Darwin Nunez, Malcolm, Ruben Neves, Teo Hernandez, Koulibaly, SMS, Bono. Man. That's a big one. All right. Club America. That's right. Alan St. Maximum is there. St. Maximum, excuse me. But they're big favorites against Puebla. And then, yeah, we were talking about Copa Libertadores. Flamengo, big favorites against Racing. Surely Racing play their strongest team. but I know Santiago Sosa's been a little banged up, and they're giant underdogs. Like Flamengo, 71%. We don't have a lineup for Nicolas de la Cruz, muscle fatigue for the last 10 years. Luis Araujo, Jorginho, why not? Okay. And then we have Al Ali in Dubai. They're a big favorite. Not a lot of Sorare cards there. There's Celtic. Let's see. Who else we got? Monterrey, 62%. Canales season, maybe. Anthony Martial, for those who want them. I'm not sure you're going to get much done with challenge or with championship cards this game week. There's like no overwhelming favorites, and I guess the if the idea is the guys who don't, like, if everybody's going to play their cards in the European competitions, then it's a little lighter, but it's still not even that light. And inevitably, people don't have like a goalie or don't have one position for the European champions stuff, and then they end up going into All-Star. So it's kind of unclear. And I think I have a pretty deep gallery. No, I don't have a ton of like champ cards, but for Conference League and excuse me, for Conference League in Europa. I don't know why I like keep hesitating on that in my head, but anyway, so I did these three already for the European champions because it's just like what I have. Like I have Sporting cards, I have Benfica cards, and I have Monaco cards. And it's like, all right, let's just put them all together. And they're all in season, so it's for All-Star, like that, it's not really the same. What I haven't done is European leagues and see if I have any in-season guys, which I did. So I have Lille. Let's see. Lille, Stuttgart away to Fenner. I also have Fenner, but who knows who the goalie will be. And then I have Strasbourg at home against the team with 100 letters in it. So let's see. I will probably just do well, actually, I don't have like a significant Strasbourg stack. So Nebel was home. It's coming off a horrific game. 25 against Bayer Leverkusen. He did play 90 minutes. I guess, yeah, in a 4-3 game. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I could play Haraldson. I don't have a Lille defender, to be honest. Fenner against Stuttgart. Do I have... Oh, they don't even have Cucho starting. Wonder if I have a classic that I can play. Yeah, all the Midtjylland ones. Okay. Midtjylland they're not like heavily favored. They're away to Maccabi Tel Aviv, but let's play Francolino there. And then we'll do Nebel because of the good matchup. Let's try that. And then it's funny because I have Stuttgart and Fenner. Like those are two of my stacks or two of my collections. But let's do so Penders. I actually don't remember the Strasbourg lineup. Or at least the projected one. They're going to rotate too. I do have a Felix Lemarchal, so let me get that one in. I won that or crafted it. I can't remember. Hogsberg, Due, or question, or maybes. Chilwell. What are we doing? I do like Baby Due. And I don't think I have... Akturgalu is my only in-season forward. And I will probably play that in a stack with like a Fenner stack at home. And so that might be all I have. I wish Barco was playing. I have a classic Amogu. I don't have an. Oh wait, Kendry Paez. Paez has actually been really, really bad. We'll use the fire one. And then I guess we could play Osorio. Brium against Aston Villa. The rare is 7% versus 5. All right. They're not classic lineups, but these are the I've got nothing better to play, and so I'm just going to play them. Can we play? Surely we can play 4 lineups here, right? All right, let's get the Fenner boys in. Except I might not have a goalie. So let's play it safe and use a goalie we know will play. Turgaloo, and then yeah, we'll just do them all. I'm not sure who to captain here. Turgaloo or Skriniar's been very good, even when they concede. All right, last one. Newell. So this is just like the Stuttgart stack away to Fenerbahce. Stiller. I don't think I have a goalie. A forward. Uh-oh. Oh, Hogsberg. Oh, Oosterwald. Hmm. Do we go Oosterwald or Hogsberg? Matchup wise, it's certainly Hogsberg, right? And then here, Osorio. I'm like running out of forwards here. Llewellyn's hurt. Cho, who knows? We'll go with Osorio for now and hope that Stiller can keep it going away. So like those are all cards that I'm not going to have an all-star. And we'll see. There's a lot of 70% there. But no relegation makes me feel a little bit better. So let's look at what we really should be doing is looking at European champions versus all-star for prizes. So European champions currently has 1,100 players in it. Hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. So 1,100 players for 3 stars. And it pays down to 30th in terms of card rewards, like direct card rewards. An all-star is 5 stars down to 25th. So it's actually fewer card rewards in total. Down to 250th overall and 2,600 players. I feel like the last time we did this, there were so many more in European champions. And this one has 730. 2 stars, and they pay down to 15th. So not expecting a whole lot here. This is like all of my Midtjylland cards will be here. So that's actually the only thing I can play here. Is this basically Midtjylland? Olafson. Oh, I do have Jordan Boss here. And Rasmussen. That Feyenoord matchup isn't quite that good, right? Before I lock him in. Like I thought Feyenoord was much Feyenoord. Oh, 61%. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's better than I expected. And then midfield, Bawadi for Lille. There's a Mugu from Strasbourg. And these are all the ones I have. It's really not that much. Osorio. Bawadi's just not a great scorer. Just never really does enough. Now, these are tougher matchups like Roma. Is that Roma and PSG? No. What is this? Oh, it is Roma. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Is this forward? I have no forwards. Code red. Oh, I got to rely on Cho. Wait a minute. Do I have Jacob Briam somewhere? Here. I'm doing all of these adjustments, and then he's not going to play anyway. Oh, and Le Marchal. Although I needed an in-season card for that one. Okay. True DJ would go and buy a forward. Yeah, for midweek, it's just tough now, Mike. For limited, I have some more options. Like I have my gallery goes a little deeper. Ingeson away. Elkenus, he's been so good. What happened to Kiergaard, man? I felt like that guy was so good for a while and then just nothing. I'm going to try to save my rares for a rare lineup. But now we're stuck. So here's like actually a really good example of like what happens here. So I have a number of cards that qualify for European leagues, and I'm basically a forward short of a lineup. Now, I don't think this lineup is that good, but instead of using these cards here, now I'm thinking maybe I'll just go play All-Star because I can't put a full lineup together for this competition. So if I go over to All-Star, even if I use the same players, and this one's getting relegated. Obviously, All-Star, you have to worry about promotion and relegation. You worry about relegation. You don't worry about promotion. But so if I did like Olafsson, Madsbeck, who I had before, what was the other? Rasmussen. Now I can play some Liga MX. This was the Necaxa game, Paradella and Pallavicino. Pallavicino's finally. Got some MLS I could play. Too much MLS if you ask me, but there's Almendra. But Racing have a tough matchup. Goriaran. So like, yeah, I can play Brunetta. And let's just put Pallavicino because he's in form and he's at home. Oh, Zinkernagel against Orlando. Like these become a little more attractive. So it's kind of like, do I play a more? I don't even know if it's more competitive. That's the bummer about it. Like it's better, but I'm not sure in the scheme of All-Star, this is that much better. Hans against Bayern. I can assure you I won't be playing. So Tigres against Pachuca. Where was Tigres? They're actually just underdogs away. Brunetta, Angulo, Guzman. But I'm not going to play more. We'll put Paradella in. So, yeah, I can play this in hopes of getting back to Division 1. Maybe I'll do that. Because I don't think that lineup is strong. Like, it's fine, but it's not particularly strong. Keylor Navas against, so Pumas, I think, were big favorites, weren't they? 57%. I guess that's not that big, but Navas is there. Nathan Silva from Mineiro. Pedro Vite from Vancouver. Wow, Alan Medina. So Navas I'll play. Hakimi. So, yeah. Actually, hold on. I think the only European champions goalie I have is Jackers. Yeah. Away to Munich. Which is unfortunate because then I have like decent players like Hakimi. And let's see. Napoli at PSV. Agard away to Sporting. Rafa Marin against Man City. So I actually don't have great matchups. Chouameni against Juventus. Evian at Galatasaray. I don't think, Elianasi's not going to play. Yeah, so now all of that, and now it's like, okay, now I'm going to play Hakimi and All-Star. And we're just going to have like a prototypical Sorare lineup of random guys from all over the place playing in an all-star competition. Evian away to Galatasaray. Do I make that jump? I don't know if I want to do that. What are you guys doing? Do you prioritize any of these actually? Inevitably, what I start to do is like, oh, wait, Palvicino and Paradella is from the same collection, so I'm just going to play them because that's fun. Kavicha, 90%. Where was PSG? I hate scrolling this far for them. Or save Hakimi for Arena? Yeesh. Ruiz and Jao Neves are out. I mean, away to Leverkusen's not like the easiest. PSG should beat Leverkusen, no problem, but it's not the easiest. That's how I'll put it. Like what were they? 61%. Like odds wise, it's just as good as Arsenal at home against Atletico Madrid or Liverpool away to Eintracht Frankfurt, almost. I have like a weird high number of forwards. Zink, Brunetta, Briam, Alvarez, JPH, Kvaratskhelia. I think I have 3 Division 1s, yeah. Yeah, the promotion and relegation all-star really changes things because it makes you think that like maybe like it's just not as easy as like, oh, I'm just going to throw them in. Like you can just throw them into the European Nights competitions. And yeah, you obviously want to win, but like if you don't, there's no downside. And the downside here is like you go into the weekend with a potentially relegated team. And so you have to kind of play that whole game of, are people prioritizing the European competitions? And so I don't have to worry about those players going off. The great battle for midweeks on Sorare. That's where they are. Then you convince yourself some matchups are better than others. Like Cambeses, like these are great scores and all, but they're like heavy underdogs. Bologna away. Olafsson, Guzman wasn't even that great. Jackers is against Bayern Munich. Gallese at Chicago. Oh, there's Camilo Vargas and Atlas. Are they favored? No, they're not. They can't even be favored at home to Club Leon. And I just see Vargas with a 44 L15, and I'm like, maybe I play him in Arena. Even though he's like an underdog and has been really like deserved low L15. Let's see what we can do if we have a 44 L15 goalie. 63. Let's see. Lopez might not play. That's not a great matchup. Back. Melly Muhlenstein, 59. Bade against PSG. The Napoli boys away. Wrench at home against Pilsen, 45 L15. Now we're cooking. But now, but again, it doesn't lead me to anybody I really want to play. Like if I play the Budo boys, or yeah, like I pretty much always play Evian and JPH together. Yeah, and that leaves me with 43. Whereas I could just play these guys in All Star. I guess I could get the 6%. If I stay under the cap in All Star. Godzilla, what's up? Do you really care about All Star though? I think, yeah, I kind of do actually. I do when I don't have great. Yeah, I do care about it. So if I'm bold enough to play Camilo Vargas in All Star, I'll play. Whoops. I'll play Melly Muhlenstein, and there's really no correlation between Melly Muhlenstein and Jacob Briam, but the correlation is now that they are in my lineup. I feel like if I play Madsbeck, I should just play Olafsson instead of. But like, it's not a great matchup. But let's see what it gives us. And I can play Osorio, just more Midtjylland. Does Chouameni score well enough? And then JPH. Who do you even captain? Probably JPH. Let's see. Is Gal? I mean, they were like, weren't they like 60% to win or something? Galatasaray? 65%. How are they this? I mean, are they really that good? I don't follow the Turkish Super League much. I meant in terms of worrying about which divisions in for the weekend. So, Mike, I last midweek I played my best lineup in Division 2 in order to get it back to Division 1. And I'm trying to think of how, like that, I finished really high for that one and won a decent reward. Wait, no, it's 18. So I had Division 1 lineups last midweek and decided to play this in Division 2 and finish 10th. My tier 1 reward was, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, Cucho. I won Cucho. And then I got it back in Division 1 for this current midweek, or this current weekend, excuse me. And so yeah, it was at least better to have this one 21 points short. This one won 1,000 essence, and this one won 100 essence. So I'll pretend it was this one, Team C. Not that it really matters. Andrea said they beat Liverpool at home last UCL game, but like Liverpool stinks. Gal at home, not an easy place to come. That's fair. Gundawan, Yilmaz, Oshiman. Yeah, it's a good line. It's a good team. Yeah, I should probably be smarter about it then. So if I take JPH and Evian out, does the lineup get any better with Palavicino at home against Cruz Azul as an underdog? Fairly firm underdog. Oh, Diber. There's Paradella. I mean, being an underdog doesn't like guarantee that he can't score. And then Brunetta away to Pachuca is not like the best matchup. Oh, I haven't played Kvaratskhelia yet. Against Bayer Leverkusen. I'll give him a captain. Why not? But it was another. What was the other one? Let's see. This is where I end up playing like, oh, wait, I wanted to see if I had a forward for super rare. Because I usually just throw Dahomey, Sulemana. Why is he only 60% now? How long did he play this weekend? 67 minutes against Lazio. Nothing to worry about in terms of relegation here. That doesn't mean I'm going to win anything, but oh, Gotti. Evian. That's ugly. Did he play? 27 minutes, 45 minutes. That's never good. We'll play Madsen as if he's a sure thing. This doesn't even feel worth submitting, to be honest. Like I should just play. I guess my only other thought was like to play that Mads back in another lineup, but I'm like, let's not pretend like he's making make or break. What's the? Oh wait, Copenhagen's against two Dortmund at home. Copenhagen at home is a little bit of a different beast. Is this 60%? No, I didn't even want to look at Dortmund. That's a funny thing. Copenhagen. Does Mealing start? Oh my God, 40% Mealing. Lopez and Zage were horrendous, and Lopez is in real danger of being benched here. Do we go for it? Do we get Berger Mealing in? I mean, this lineup is so stupid that I might as well just do it. And I'll captain Evian just so I could throw it back in your faces, guys, when you're like, Galata. Did I play any limited lineups yet? Oh, yeah, just this one. Mike, I'm not playing Santa Maria. I can't do it. That dude is so bad. All right. So we have another Olafson. Enrique Bologna. Where is he? Union Santa Fe. So he's a, where did that go? 24% away. I can't even say 24% favorite. Oh, wait, there was Vargas. Look how, you see how confident I was? Oh, Vargas. I'll go play him, of course. Angulo. Oh, wait, Due. Diao, 70%. The bummer is I inevitably just try to play guys who I know are going to play, even if I think they're worse. I'm not going to get into the DNP discussion, though. Let's try Diao. What did Mickey say about them? Yeah. Yeah. I think Diao probably starts this one. All right. Do we just go back to the Paradella and Pallavicino? Yes, I have that many of them. He's found his level. It was Peru. Ugh. There's Jordan Larson. Muleka's a little revenge game. Didn't he play at Besiktas, Jackson Muleka? Cambino. I'll do JPH and Evian here. And if they win, if Galatasaray win 4-3, then great. And now it's, do I do like my full Tigres stacks? It's not even full. But I have like Nahuel, Angulo, Aquino, and Brunetta. Now, again, they're away underdogs. So we have that going for us. Tigres. Goriran I have, but feels like I shouldn't play him. So then we got to fill out the rest. I just got to play another Evian and Hans. No. Chumeni, Castillo. I feel like this is a game for Chumeni against Juventus. A lot of defensive actions in the middle. Is he even there, actually? Or do they have him playing center back again? I don't know if it makes me feel any better. Oh, no, right in the middle there. Okay. Juve are awful, too. Yeah. Wouldn't mind a Rodrigo start. Jude's still in my vault. Haven't taken him out yet. Who gets the last spot? Doku? Doku has had a bit of a dip in form, but with Marmouche only just coming back from injury, I think he still starts. But probably doesn't play 90, right? It's kind of like, why take the risk on Doku? Like when I know Jordan Larson is going to play against Dortmund. Victor, yeah, some more Midtjylland, I guess. Santa Maria. So Mike could be happy. Oh, I forgot about Wrench. This seems so bad, but they're like decently favored, Roma, no? He's just like not a SO5 scorer anymore. That's the biggest problem. Where is he? 90%. There's Sule. Actually, wait a minute. Wrench 43, that's 380. Yeah, so I can't even get I'm not even under the cap anyway. Evian kind of ruins it. There's Boadi. None of these feel great. I'm not going to lie. So I'll just double down on JPH and Evian. Why not? Yeah. Come and get me, everyone. Don't really. Let me win. But I think ultimately the biggest issue, like the reason I end up in All-Star, and I think this is going to be the case with a lot of people, is that their lineups in the European comps just they're not full. It's not even that they're not good. They're just not, you don't have all of the pieces. And so if you don't have the pieces, then you have to just open it up to everybody else. And all of a sudden you get a sprinkling of Liga MX and I was going to do a whole list, but I don't know. Oh, wait, the English Championship and MLS. And that's what happens when you play All-Star. You can kind of play from everywhere. And midweeks increasingly start to feel like, as long as you have enough starters, then you're, whether you have 7 or 5, like you just need starters and then you can get it in, you can get in there. And then we just survive until we can get to the next weekend, and we can go back to going for our streaks and hoping that the guys who played in the midweek are also playing on the weekend, or they sit for the midweek so that they know that they play in the weekend. As you can see here, I already put some lineups in for the weekend, but Kvaratskhelia plays midweek. Monaco plays midweek. Lille play midweek. And so it just becomes a little harder to plan ahead. Stuttgart play midweek. Mainz, or not, where was Mainz? I thought I had somebody. Here it is. Neville. Mainz play midweek. Leverkusen play midweek. What was this one? Oh, Challenger. Sporting and Benfica play midweek. Fenerbahce play, Fener play midweek. And it's just like, it gets very, very tough. As much as I want to like look ahead, we need these matches to be played. And so we get to this situation where you really want to plan ahead, but then when you look at all the matches, it's like, all right, I've got a bunch of these guys that play Tuesday. And so like all of the ones that play Tuesday, you feel like if for my Benfica cards, and I'll feel a little bit better about them because they're playing on the weekend. But I think Sporting or Wednesday, and then it's like, heaven forbid you have players that play Thursday, like Go Ahead or Betis or Genk or Feyenoord or Braga or Strasbourg, and it's just like, it makes the weekend just a little trickier because we just have no idea who's going to play. But thankfully, there's plenty of content on this channel in all types of languages that will discuss all that stuff and get you ready for the weekend. And so make sure you keep checking all of that out. Obviously, most of the other content on the channel requires you to speak another language, but if you do, you're in luck, because you can get plenty of Sorare content in French, Spanish, Italian, German, and I think that's all. I think that's it. If you do play NBA, NBA is launching this week. Like, the NBA season starts this week. And so there is going to be a deadline show for that on this channel with Mike Zakarian. So I highly recommend you take that in. If you're looking for any more content from me, you can check out Sorare with Laird on YouTube. That's all you need to search. And if you like to support content creators further, I have a Patreon that you can join. It's called the Laird Social Club. Costs as little as $5 a month. Helps support all the Sorare content that I do. So I just want to throw that out there. But thank you to everybody for coming. Good luck with all of your lineup building for the game for the midweek. As you can see, it can get a little complicated trying to figure out where you're going to play all your cards and whether you should be prioritizing European champions either for Champions League or European leagues, which is Europa and Conference, playing All-Star, playing Arena, U23. I didn't even touch on mostly because I don't have the U23 cards for the midweek. But good luck with all of that. Like I said, there's plenty of content out there to help you get ready for it. So good luck with all your lineup building, and please make sure you get outside.